Alright, so I made a video about the good, bad, and ugly about the AR45, and one of the uglies is that it was shooting water out of here under pressure, and I thought it was the O-rings here, but it wasn't. So I changed the O-rings, of course, you saw that on the video, but inside here there's a crack. So I bought this from North Georgia Airless, and it's just the upper part of the manifold here. I have to take all this off and put on here. Well, I got it upside down. But this is only $13. So I thought that was very reasonable for that, as opposed to $17 and some odd cents. Just call it $18 for these seals. So at each check valve, there's 3 here. The seals go in to seal this manifold. So I don't understand. There's a lot more involved with this than slicing off some seals. But anyway, so I'm going to attempt to I'm going to take these bolts completely out and just loosen the bottom ones and hopefully get it kind of twisted out and get this piece replaced. So I want to show you something here. These bolts go all the way through into the head, and there's a little square nut in there, and it just slides in a slot, and it's really loose and they'll fall out. Not a concern about these upper ones, but the bottom ones are just like this, but the slots look straight down. So if you take these bolts completely out, those nuts will slide off. And so what I did originally, and I'd have to see if it's in there, but what I did originally when I changed all these O-rings out, or basically they're seals, they're not O-rings, I took a sponge and I tore off some of a sponge, and I poked up in those slots from below like this, but you know, down here, to hold those nuts in place. Knowing what I know now, before I even put this pump on, I would have shot silicone in these holes on every one of them before I even installed it, just to hold those nuts in place. And there's no reason once they're in there really for them to come out. So that's the deal. So I can take these completely out and just, you know, leave these loose. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and disassemble the pieces off of here. So here comes the regulator. I've had this off before when I winterized it. So there is looks like a ceramic plunger right here, and then a seal, or okay, so that's a little rusty. I can clean that up. But anyway, it goes like that. This goes either way. And then we got an O-ring right there. I'm going to use this one over again because I didn't think about ordering this one. So this is going to go back in place. One thing about these is that they are easy to work on. So alright, let's get these loose. I'm going to look in here and see how loose they can be without the nut falling off, so I'll know how far I can back these off. So let's see. Alright, so it's off there. So it looks like if I leave 3/16 of an inch, just shy of a quarter, those nuts are not going to fall off. So these are going to come off completely. So these are the ones I've got to be careful with. Okay, and sorry about the camera angles here. Oh shit, I just dropped that one off. I heard the nut fall down too. I went too far. Alright, I'll have to fight getting that back in place. We've got other mounting bolts here. Now these go into the case, so there's no nut. Alright, so I've got them loose, but it looks like my check valves are getting interference here. So I may have to take the whole manifold off. I'll probably just do that. And then just put some foam up underneath there and hold those nuts up in place. So I'm just gonna pull it apart. I was hoping I could sneak it in, but I can't. I don't want to break anything else. So, all right, here we go. Check valve, and the last check valve. So I'll show you these check valves. They're pretty hardy, and they I had these out before when I initially got the pump and had to change these green seals out, but it looks like it's pretty forgiving. Like if you got a piece of trash, this opens up big enough, all this being stainless steel, that it looks like it would just go ahead and pump it through. So anyway, that's the check valves. Certainly look nice, and I mean, they look new. So let's see what I have here. So we got that and that. All right, so I'm going to put some silicone grease on here. Like so. Get it all greased up. And we'll put this on here. It fits very tight, very tight. Okay. All right, so this is ready to go. Now I need to figure out a way of getting those nuts back up in there because they dropped off. Alright, so I have a screwdriver underneath that nut. I use these tweezers to get it started, and I have a screwdriver holding it up right here. Hope you can see it. It's going to go up in a slot. So what I'm going to do, and I already got the other side in, is this is what I did last time. I had this piece of it's 3/16 steel, and I put a bend on it, and here's the foam, and I'm going to use this from underneath and bring that foam up. All right. All right, so you see, pushing that foam up there to keep that nut in. Oh. Pack it up in there. Well, I hope that does it. Feels like it's up in there. Okay. It probably would have been better if I'd bought a skid with this and everything would have been up where I could have worked on it, but let's see if this one, that nut's up in place. Okay, so it's good. We're holding now. See, those need to be glued in, at least the bottom ones from the factory. Get this baby on here. Just lined up. Let's get these bottom ones in. They're the troublemakers. Okay, those are in. Start these. Get all your bolts started before you start tightening anything down. So basically I'm just going to go around and around, or I can alternate back and forth like this. Probably be the best thing to do. Bring up these gaps evenly. See, the bottom one has a larger gap. Alright, this stainless steel washer here has got a lot of corrosion on this back side, and so I'm going to take and I got a 1000 grit whetstone, nice new flat stone, and I'm going to hone that off and make a new surface on there before I reinstall it. This is 600 grit on 600 on this side and 1000 on this side. So let's hone it. See how I'm honing it in a figure 8? That'll give you the best, flattest surface. And then you can spin 90 degrees. So that's looking pretty good. I'll do both sides while I'm at it. Go to the 1000 side. It's not really getting, I mean, it's nice and smooth, but I would have to sit here. The washer itself is a little bit cupped where they stamped it. That was stamped out. And so you're going to have a proud surface right here on these two lines. But it's nice and clean. I'm going to say that's good enough. Alright, so we're going to install that O-ring. Of course, the silicone grease. The cheapest place to get silicone grease is go to like Lowe's or a plumbing shop and ask for a plumbing grease, the silicone one, and a tub is about $4. But if you buy it online, they really nail you for it. But when you call it, you know, plumber's grease, I guess they've got a little soft heart. They don't charge you as much. Same stuff. So I got my washer ready to go. So it goes down in there. This ceramic plunger, I mean, it looks pretty good. A little discoloration right there, but I think it looks good. So put that in. Alright, let's put it on. We'll know soon enough. Okay, silicone grease here. Get the gauge. Like so. I just kind of put my new O-rings over this just so I'd have them. I'll probably take them off later, but right now I'll leave them on. There's that. Alright, got to put my output in. Forgot about it. Okay, so it was a little tough getting in there, but I got it. I did notice the other day one of these, I don't know which one, had worked itself out, about halfway like that, and I just pushed on it. But I think it'd be a good idea to put a wire tie or something here to hold these in, and this one too. So you can really see the crack in this thing now. I don't know, it's in the bottom and it goes, well, you might be able to see it. It's a white crack. Anyway, But you know, if I hadn't dropped those nuts out of the bottom there, it would have been a 20-minute fix. So it ended up being about a 30-minute fix. So I'm going to fire it up, see if we're squirting water. Make sure I got everything here off. Bypass off. Alright. I'm ready to fire it up. Let's see. It's in rinse mode right now, so I'm going to open up the water and the bleach. Turn my soap off. It is off. Okay. That's about it. So we're in bypass right now. Alright, like Leon says, make sure your trigger is on when you turn it off. Even if you've lowered the pressure, the manual says lower the pressure, put it in bypass, then you can turn it off, and it still builds up pressure in the lines. So this is the only way that it seems to work. I'm going to do a video on how I use this to mimic a 12-volt pump or less, and so you're not wasting chem or overshooting and, you know, getting a lot of overspray on stuff if you want to do it, you know, delicate work. But for now, that was just the you know, repair of this upper top piece of manifold there. And so we're leak free. We'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, so if you like my videos, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up and share them, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.